Hello everyone, and you are watching YouTube Breaking News Today channel. We always update the hottest news in the world every day. The following is the main information included in today's newsletter. Rockets from Lebanon hit northern Israeli town. Pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian students hold dueling protests at DePaul University. Lula visits flooded southern Brazil as death toll rises to 75. Israeli authorities raid Al Jazeera after shutdown order. U.S. student protests driven by anti-Semitic narratives. Israeli researcher. And the following is detailed information. Some 20 rockets were launched from Lebanon towards the northern Israeli town on Sunday, May 5th, some of which made direct hits to houses and residential buildings, injuring one elderly man, according to Israeli media. Firefighters were working to put out the fire in several sites in Kiryat Shmona, an Israeli town bordering Lebanon that has evacuated most of its residents after October 7th. Hamas attack on southern Israel. In a statement, Hezbollah said it fired tens of Katyusha rockets at the Israeli town of Kiryat Shmona, a northern town close to the Lebanese border, in retaliation. An Israeli airstrike later on Sunday killed 4 members of a family in a house in a border village in southern Lebanon, civil defense and security sources said. Airstrikes and shelling have taken place sporadically, but both sides have pulled back from all-out war.
בוא לשם, זאביק.
לא משנה, בוא. חברים, כוננו ספיקה לידי. והיא כבר ברק שקר. איפה ראיתם?
Students at DePaul University in Chicago, Illinois, held dueling protests on Sunday, May 5th, to show their support for both Israel and Palestinians in the war in Gaza. A row of Chicago police officers divided the two sides, and university officials advised faculty, students and community members to avoid the area. DePaul University is the United States' largest Catholic university with approximately 14,500 undergraduates, 7,000 graduates and 800 law students. Campus protests have emerged as a political flashpoint during a contentious U.S. election year as Democratic President Joe Biden seeks a second term in office. Police have arrested more than 2,000 people during protests at dozens of campuses around the country. Lula visits flooded southern Brazil as death toll rises to 75.
Coloquei todos eles no meu helicóptero que eu vim para cá, que era que a gente pudesse ter uma visão um pouco do significado da enchente junto com o governador. Então eles viram o estrago que a chuva está causando, não é que já causou, está causando a cidade de Porto Alegre, o estado do Rio Grande do Sul.
Com apoio também aqui dos ministérios, sempre contato com as empresas, abre sinal de telefonia.
Eu sei que tem muitas estradas estaduais que estão com problema. Eu quero lhe dizer que não fique preocupado que o governo federal, através do Ministério do Transporte, vai ajudar a você a recuperar as estradas estaduais.
Impactos na produção, a Secretaria de Agricultura está acompanhando também, junto às empresas produtoras de proteína animal.
E nós temos que reconstruir muitas casas. E na reconstrução das casas, já é preciso levar em conta com os prefeitos que a gente não pode permitir que as pessoas reconstruam as casas no mesmo local que tinha a casa que caiu. É preciso que as prefeituras, o Estado e a União localizem terreno de maior tranquilidade para as pessoas poderem reconstruir o seu ninho.
Israeli authorities raided a Jerusalem hotel room used by Al Jazeera as its office after the government decided to shut down the Qatari-owned TV station's local operations on Sunday, May 5, an Israeli official and an Al Jazeera source told Reuters. Video obtained by Reuters showed plainclothes officers at the hotel taking camera equipment out of hotel in East Jerusalem. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet shut down the network for as long as the war in Gaza continues, saying it threatened national security. Al Jazeera said the move was a criminal action, and the accusation that the network threatened Israeli security was a dangerous and ridiculous lie that put its journalists at risk. It reserved the right to pursue every legal step. Israeli satellite and cable television providers suspended Al Jazeera broadcasts following the government decision. The UN Human Rights Office also criticized the closure. The law allows Netanyahu and his security cabinet to shut the network's offices in Israel for 45 days, a period that can be renewed, so it could stay in force until the end of July or until the end of major military operations in Gaza. U.S. student protests driven by anti-Semitic narratives. Israeli researcher.
Here's the report. And here's my article on October 7th. Yeah. So what you see manifesting on campus is this kind of mix of the progressive left, mixing in anti-Zionism, anti-colonialism, criticism of Israel, etc., that then gets mixed in with anti-Semitism or manifests itself sometimes in anti-Semitic expressions. But we also see this on the far right, among neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and white nationalists, who are also driving the same similar narratives, anti-Semitic narratives. So it's very important to make a distinction that not all criticism of Israel is anti-Semitism. Okay? You can criticize the government of Israel's policies, you can criticize the Israel Defense Forces and how it's prosecuting the war. This is not anti-Semitism. However, when you start calling for the destruction of the state of Israel, the destruction of the Jewish people, the elimination of the Jewish people, this is anti-Semitism.
What we see that's happening in the campuses in the US shows us that people don't really understand what happened here in the 7th of October and what's happening ever since. We know that there is a lot of confrontation about the Israeli and the Palestinian confrontation, but what happened in the 7th of October, it's not about that. It's about a massacre that happened that we here in Israel not truly understand. We still cope with it. And to see the students at the campuses, students like us in a parallel universe, seeing and talking about what's happening here as if it was some kind of massacre from us to the people in Gaza, it's truly horrific.
I'd hope that people would educate themselves to understand better what's actually going on here, to understand that Hamas is a terrorist organization, that you can be pro-Palestinian, you can support the rights of the Palestinians without supporting Hamas, without supporting terrorism, and understanding the situation better. And frankly, I think it's not always the place to come and to speak, and maybe to just be quiet and listen, because you're not a part of the situation and you don't necessarily completely understand what's going on here. And so to just be quiet and to listen to the stories of the people who are actually here and living with the reality of the situation and understand what's going on. And sometimes it's better to just be quiet and listen.
Soldiers deployed across Chad cast their ballots on Sunday, May 5th. A day ahead of presidential elections that have been rejected by some opposition groups as an effort by Mohammed Idris Deby to cement his grip on power. The early military vote allows the thousands of troops securing the country during the election to fulfill their duties on Monday, when the majority of Chad's 8 million registered voters will head to polling stations.
C'est un vote pour cette sécurité. Donc, on a fait puis notre devoir.
Ces votes sont en train de montrer une fois de plus la maturité, non seulement des hommes en tenue, mais aussi ça relève de cette transparence et surtout cette équité. Et en plus, je dirais, nous avons observé une campagne civilisée et nous pensons que c'est cette continuité que nous sommes en train de voir ce matin, parce que tout est dans l'ordre, discipline et le calme. cela relève vraiment de ce que nos recommandations n'ont pas été vaines.
C'est important ça.
Kiev's St. Sophia Cathedral teamed up with a local folklore museum and held Easter festivities on Sunday, May 5th, to honor the army's fight against invading Russian troops, the organizers said. People came to the 1,000-year-old St. Sophia Cathedral to listen to traditional Easter folk songs, buy artisanal handicraft and write letters and decorate postcards for soldiers at the front line. Orthodox Christians, including the Orthodox Church in Ukraine and Russia, celebrate Easter this weekend, while most Western churches observed the holiday on March 31st.
Що Господь не залишить нас без божественної допомоги.
Ні, я хочу ще. О!
Давай. Допомогти?
Ні, не треба.
Клас. Дуже збоку.
Ми збираємо на деталі до FPV-дронів. Це зараз така нагальна потреба майже у всіх підрозділах, де є наші друзі. Тому це якраз такий збір, і ми вирішили в рамках цього святкування Великодня зробити листівки на фронт. Це така благодійна акція. Можна написати і лист на фронт, і привітальну листівку з Великоднем, а одночасно задонатити якусь суму на те, щоб ми могли закупити FPV-дрони.
Можна поміняти, як так, навіть не восковим олівцем, а мабуть просто свічками його натирали зверху гуашю чорною. Одинарна листівка. Я дивлюсь. Давай я тобі прикладу ось таку пташечку. Щоб у тебе не летіло. Шаблончик.
Великдень у Софії Київській – це подія, яка в час війни є присвятою тим, хто зі зброєю боронить українську землю.
Палац. Я тебе велика, але прийшла. Це сейф опція. Тільки тоді перший
Круче ми там жили.
Our newsletter here is over. Thank you and your friends for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to always update the latest information daily. Goodbye and see you again.